Hello, welcome to Retro for You. Today's episode, we're going to start a new series of videos, which is basically, it's going to be a long series. It's not going to be like a short three-parter. I can see it going into many parts. So basically, this arrived, which is basically a bag of what we call Birdseed, which is basically little components which are like resistors, capacitors, etc. There's a lot here. I think there's over 300 items in there to be soldered onto this board. This is a board we're going to be working on, which is a new Amiga 1200 board. So we're going to be building this from scratch and basically replacing, obviously we've got a donor board that is knackered, but obviously the chipset's good because it did get it powered on. But the board is that deteriorated where the capacitors are leaked on it, etc. It's just beyond saving. So I thought, let's have a nice little project and build this. Obviously it's not a little project, it needs components soldered on every single pad of these by hand, and some of them are very small. So it's going to be a fun project, and it's going to be, like I say, over a few videos, but we're going to start that today. So it should hopefully start coming together. Now, a bit of news was this weekend something else arrived, which is this, the handheld, which is an Atari Lynx. It's in poor condition. I don't think it's working. So this will be in future videos when we look at it. If you look at the time when this was around, this is a 16-bit handheld. It's around the same time as like the other Game Boys. You can see the size difference is quite crazy. This looks like a Steam Deck of the past, basically. And you could basically, obviously you can put these in your pocket, but these you needed a bag to carry around. But they were amazing machines at the time. I mean, we used to love playing Rampart on this, me and my cousin. So, like I say, thanks for continuing watching these videos. I'm now nearly up to 350 subscribers, so hopefully I'll hit that number soon. If you can, and if you are new here, please hit the like and subscribe button after. Always drop me a comment down below. We do like those comments. I always do try to respond to every single comment. In fact, I don't think there's a comment that I haven't responded to. But if I haven't, let me know anyway in a comment below. So I will see you after the short intro, and we'll get on with building this board. Thanks a lot, guys. See you soon. Okay, so welcome what is going to be part one of building this board. As you can see, like I said before, I've got lots of components to solder. This is just the start of it. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. Over 300 little components in here. So we're going to pick some, which has got a lot. There is actually a guide, which I will show you, which Chucky wrote himself, as well as some other software. So let me just flick over to the software side. This first software is some software which he's done online, which is called your component locator basically, and this shows you all the pads of the board, and you can select all your different stuff like capacitors, connectors, diodes, various transistors, IOs, ICs, sorry, oscillators, I can't say that word. So this will show you all your different components on the board and the pads. So you select something like capacitors, you select the value here, 1 UF, and it will highlight where it should go. So there's one there, and you can also, you see a layer top and bottom, so you can go to the bottom of the board as well, and obviously there's two there as well. So this, you really need this. Without this you'd be in trouble. So what I'm going to do today is the Chucky guide, which is here. I'll put a link into this anyway. This basically tells you to basically do all the Birdseed first. So get all these small components on first. It tells you then you can put the power connector on and the coil, and then basically tells you how to test the board. So we can see if it's working, and then you can put this crystal on, and using an oscilloscope to see if you've got 28 megahertz, etc. And then he goes on to the budgie, etc. So obviously we're not going to get that far today. I don't even think I'm going to get all the birdseed on today, but I wanted to start the video and start this going. So obviously after this we're going to go to here and we're going to start with some resistors, and I think it recommends you start with a 6080 ohm because obviously there's a lot of these all over the place, so that's a good one to start with. So I need to find that bag and then start this soldering. So we're back on the main thing and we need to find these resistors. 68 ohm, I've got them there. So the rest of this stuff can go away in this box because I don't want them lying around everywhere and going missing. So here we have 74 of these. You can see how small they are here. So we're just going to peel this back a bit. Should have my tweezers somewhere. I haven't got my tweezers there. So I basically managed to peel this off now, and I'm releasing these little resistors down here. You can see them. That's why it's called birdseed, because it's so small. So now we're just going to get it under the scope and start placing these on. Okay, so we're just going to transition to the microscope, which is here. I've got the side camera on as well, and we're going to have a go at soldering the first one on. If you look under the scope here, you can actually see it's got the numbers here, 68 anyway, so that's really good, that is. So we're just going to stick it under here to make this board more level if we can. And that is the first one we're going to solder. So we're going to get this resistor, which you can see is very tiny. I picked the wrong ones here because he says 680 on them. Yeah, 68 ohm, that's right. So we need to level that off a bit. So it's connected on both pads. We'll get some solder paste. I'm going to use solder paste for these, I think. We'll get a bit on the knife. Each side. Straighten that back up, and then we'll get the soldering iron and we should be able to just dab it in. Until it melts and takes. Of course it took on the wrong pad. So all I'm going to do is straighten it up a bit. Trying to solder. There you go. So that's the first one done. Now only 382 to go. I don't like how that's soldered, but we'll get some flux and then we'll just dab a bit of flux on it. Just to tidy it up. There you go, I'm much happier with that. Like I say, it's going to take a long time, but it should be fun when it's all done. So what I do, I just give that a bit of a brush off. It doesn't matter about the solder around there. And now, that's the first one done. So, just sit back, relax, listen to some music, and we will carry on. Basically, I've carried on replacing these resistors. I've still got a fair few to go. Now, obviously this is going to be doing in the week now. I'm not going to sit here and film every single capacitor component. So this week, well, the next few weeks, I'm going to carry on placing all the components on top, all the birdseed, so to speak, so all the caps, the resistors, the other SMD stuff, until I get to the stage where we're ready to stick the power adapter on and plug it on. So when we get to that stage, I start the next video and we can film putting the power adapter on, the coil, etc., and plugging some power through this board to see how we get on. Then of course later we'll be salvaging the chipset off the old board, the connectors, etc., to replace onto this one. So I hope you enjoyed the video. This is a mammoth task. I've never took anything on like this before. And if you are here for the first time, please hit the like and subscribe. Drop me a comment below if you'd like to see more of this stuff. There is obviously Commodore 64 boards to build, Amiga 600 boards, but like I said, this is going to be an ongoing project for now. Next week we should be back onto the Commodore 64 drive as some more stuff has arrived from PCBWay. So they've actually sent me some free stuff, so look forward to some stuff getting built from them. So that's it for now. I shall hopefully see you next video. Thanks a lot guys. See ya. Bye.